Broke girl therapy. Do I have any stains on this sweater?
Not that I can see.
Okay, because I usually like eat, drink, live my life, be merry. This is just like this is not like a cute sweater that I wear to be sweater. Cute. Like this is where I'm just chilling, you know? We're just chilling. It's like a sleepover.
Yeah.
Aw.
First ep.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm really nervous.
Why?
Because I've never done this before.
I think you've done this. I think you're an expert.
I think I'm an expert at this point. Okay, we'll start. Hi, guys. It's me, Stefanie Maegan, your host of Broco Therapy. And we have Miss Jessica Clarke.
Yes, we're back.
Hey! Except, and Nina's here. So every episode, I'm going to start having like a producer here with me because I feel like there's always so much going on that I low-key sometimes have panic attacks before an episode, even though I'm like really good at masking it. So I just thought it'd be really nice to have someone just to like overlook everything. And also I feel like Nina, if it's not Nina, it's going to be Brian. So they're always in the background somewhere. So Nina's here today as well.
As
well. But this is not the first episode back that I've recorded.
Yeah.
However, this is the first episode back.
We're excited. We missed you.
I know. Did you guys like miss me? Did people miss me?
For sure.
Was it weird to not have an episode out? I wonder.
I'm sure it was. People were like, all your comments are like, okay, girl.
You're like, hello.
Your break has been cute. We're ready.
But we need you back.
Yeah,
like,
we need you
good
back.
for you. Yeah. And people are, and I've also gotten messages like, I hope you've gone rest. I was like, where?
Yeah, you've been doing the most. Literally, after you were like, yeah, I think I'm going to take a break the week after. So I was thinking of an idea. I really want to I was like, Steph, isn't this supposed to be a break? A whole new concept.
I felt so not inspired for so long. And as soon as my brain just accepted the break, I just was like, I release just the pressure was when all of a sudden everything, I was like having manic episodes. I felt like I looked back at some of like my ideas and I was like, maybe that was a little impulsive to call my friends to be like, we need to do a Love Island intro. Like I would call Nina with ideas like, I think this is brilliant, and she's just like, let's think this through. Because I was like, oh, to promote the show I should have like a Love Island like type of intro. Okay. Like I had I kind of have like crazy ideas before I like simmered down into like,
you like had a creative crash out, and then you're like, okay,
and then I was like high on just like weird ideas. I think I even like hit you up. I remember I hit you up like, I had this idea, and you're like, okay, let's like wait this out.
Yeah, I was like, so you're going on
just take your break.
How about you do the break?
Yeah. And let's think this through, and let's come back, and let's just like, I mean, a lot of the ideas that I do have, I am still incorporating.
Yeah, but not on your break.
Yeah, exactly. Like I had to tell myself, okay, relax.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like it was really nice to not have to like have that pressure of putting out an episode on Monday. Like there was this like thing that was nice to have to relax on Sundays because I usually incorporate Sundays as like my editing for BGT days.
Yeah. And
so it was really cool to just not have, just have a Sunday back, But I still had a really fucking busy, like 6 months. So it's
been 6 months.
I mean, has it been 6? So September is when September, October, November, December, January.
You did good, girl.
About 5 months. Yeah. So I've been busy. I've been working. I think if anything, like I feel like my career has been thriving because I've been using this time to just like focus on that. And it also like it made me feel like more inspired.
Yeah.
Working and being creative for others has made me like gain my confidence back. So I do feel a lot more confident.
What weren't you feeling confident in?
I think I wasn't feeling confident in me being like successful. Like I think I like care so much about making sure that this show is like super successful. Like I felt like I was like so honed in on the numbers and like the logistics and like why am I not like this, and why am I not hitting these types of numbers, and why am I not this level of success, because it has been like 9 years.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, damn, like, and I started to feel like a failure. Like, why don't I have a $60 million contract with Spotify,
Right,
you know?
right.
So I started comparing, and I think that for so long I was kind of like putting this pressure on Broco Therapy to save me.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, Broco Therapy, you're going to be my big break. You're going to
Yeah.
be what makes me like make it, you know? And I think that having that mindset like robbed me from the experience.
Mhm.
And also just like robbed me from realizing that, like, wait, I've had so many success with this. So what the fuck are you talking about, Steph? Like, just because it doesn't look a certain way doesn't mean like I haven't experienced success.
Yeah.
And it also just made me realize to do it for the right reasons. And why did I start doing this?
Yeah.
And it wasn't necessarily to be successful,
Right.
but it was to just like have an outlet and get
Yeah.
creative and hang out with my friends and
I think
document,
it
you
started
know?
off like that. I think the COVID boom of girl therapy really got you into like, oh my God, like,
Yeah.
and I think, but I don't think you're alone in that. I think a lot of creatives felt that way. A lot of, not even only creatives, but just people in business in general.
Right.
They thought that they took that COVID boom and it was a great boom, but whether it was sustainable, you know, it gave us a high that we're not able to maintain because we're no longer in COVID anymore.
Exactly.
People
So
are
things
not
look
in their home.
different.
So it's just like the numbers that you're getting in COVID are not going to be the same numbers now. And that doesn't necessarily mean that because you're a failure. It's because the society is just the way of we were living
Shifted.
for a year or two has changed. So naturally, your numbers are going to change. And I think a lot of people took that on a hit on their content being worse or them not being where they need to be, you know. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a part of the process of
Yeah.
life.
And I also think because I was never really doing well in my own career. Like, I was getting fired all the time. I was not like able to get certain jobs. So I kind of just relied on Broco Therapy to like just save me, to
Right.
almost just be like, please be like my reason, you know? And I was thinking that it wasn't for a while, but it actually like has. It's
Yeah.
made me like a better creator. It's made me, I think, even a better person, I would hope. And it's brought me a lot of opportunities as well. And again, success could look in so many different ways.
Right.
So I think just understanding that and just being kinder to myself and being
Yeah.
patient. And so, but I also think taking this time and like work on like my career that's outside of Broco Therapy and that doing really well has also given me that confidence of like, okay, I will be okay. I think I've just been on like this survival mindset for so long. Like, I have to survive, like,
Right.
you know, and I was always so scared of like failing, and not because of a failure, but I don't know, I just want to have a good life and be able to support myself and be able to not be living in a dungeon. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to have a good life. And of course, you know, with capitalism and all that stuff, it's just like, okay, we need money to do it. So I think, there was just my career outside Broco Therapy was never great. So I think it, you know, I had that pressure on Broco Therapy. So now I feel like I've gained confidence and also have taken that pressure off and be like,
Right.
you'll be okay. Like, Steph, I'll figure it out. You know, like, I've survived so many shit. Like, I am resilient, you know, that even if, you know, it does fail tomorrow and I get fired or whatever, like, I always find a way and I will be okay.
Yeah.
So I think I've released that pressure. So I feel good. That's why I feel good coming back, and I feel more creative, and I feel that I honestly I think what is also a thing too is Broco Therapy was how I paid my bills, which was my dream, right? Like, I was like, oh, I want that to pay my rent. I want that to pay my bills. And it was, but then I was unhappy.
Yeah.
And I think, again, putting that pressure.
It started to become work.
Yeah. And so now it's great to obviously have that blessing to be able to monetize this, but this isn't paying my rent.
Right.
This is extra money. This is the fun money. This is the, you know, this is where I get to just like have my passions and, you know, and just keep going with that. So I think just taking that has really helped. So that's what I've been doing on my break. I didn't really, well, you know what? Also, I, you know, was diagnosed with sleep apnea. I got a CPAP.
Yeah.
So I did get some good rest because now with the machine.
How is it going?
it's going. It's very difficult to wear a machine while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
So I've been going through a lot of just adjustment towards that. Like it's been, at first it was taking a while to sleep with it on. Now I could sleep with it easily on. But then somehow in the middle of the night, I don't know who, what, where, when, but I take it off and I wake up with it off. And I'm like, when did I take it off? And I have no recollection.
Yeah.
But I felt comfortably asleep with it, So I think it's on most of the night. It's just I get some times during the night I take it off.
You're like,
but I still feel rested. So I'm still kind of adjusting to keeping it on the whole night.
Mm-hmm.
But even just with having it on for a few hours has really helped me. Like I don't feel like I have to take a nap during the day all the time anymore.
Okay, good.
I feel
it allows you to get
more
deeper
energy.
Sleep?
Yeah, because with sleep apnea, you're that's why I snore really loud. It's like I stop breathing essentially. That's why sometimes people die from sleep apnea. But like you stop breathing, so therefore your body's not really getting that full rest. So that's why I was always tired and all that stuff. So now I feel very like rested and it's helped me a lot. Good. So congratulations to me for getting a little CPAP. So I did get some rest. Okay. I got some good rest. So besides that, I just be kicking it. Okay, enough of my boring update. I just wanted to get through it. What the fuck you been up to, bitch? Like, what the fuck?
Girl, surviving. I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. What? I think a week after I was laid off, I was like, well, might as well go on Hinge.
Shit. Okay. Yeah. You're like, what else I have to do than just? I got time.
I had a little severance. I had a little unemployment. I was like, okay.
And some time.
And I was like, honestly, I've been working my butt off for.
You've been working.
I worked a lot, and I was like, this is just my time. Maybe I just need to like reset and just recenter and just enjoy my life without work. And it's very hard as well when your work is enjoyable, so you're thinking that you're actually doing something because you're doing something you love. It's hard to kind of extract that from it actually being work, but ultimately it's work. It's even though you're being creative and you love it, it's also taking the creative energy out of you. And so I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to go on Hinge. I matched with this guy, and our first mess, it was like, hi, you're beautiful, let me take you out to dinner. And I was like, okay, love. So
and is he African?
Yes, he is. He's Nigerian.
You love
y'all
it.
Already know. Y'all know. So,
imagine you're like, no, he's white.
Imagine
that plot twist.
He's white and he's from, I don't know, Denver, Colorado. Could you imagine?
Oh my god! And he's like in tech.
Eat him alive,
right?
And so
I could never.
Can you imagine?
No offense to white people.
I love white people. I just couldn't date them. And honestly, I don't know if they would date me either. So, hey, here we are.
If I was a white man, I'd date you.
Oh, I love that. But you're like, you're stuff. That doesn't even make sense. You as a white person just doesn't, yeah. So we went on a date and I had a great time. It was very romantic and
really romantic. How?
Yeah, because we went to a restaurant and they tried to like seat us inside, and he said, "Can you just seat us like outside? Because there's like a lot of people." And she was like, "Sure." So we went like to this like outside area, and it was almost like a private dining area vibe. Like there was no one else there. It was just me and him. I brought a little card game for us to play.
So what it was like getting to know you. Yeah. Like, that's actually smart. Bring those on your dates.
Put you on game, y'all. I'm gonna put you on game.
Those are great. Like, yeah.
But I bought like one, and I thought so. I actually thought that they were like get to know you, like just first initial, they were more like sexual get.
Oh shit! Like, what's your favorite position? And you're like,
So I
damn.
had to like filter through them to like find the more like this is the first time I'm meeting this person one. But we honestly we didn't even use them till the end, and we just used them just because like I bought
Icebreakers.
them. I bought them, so he was like, let's just use them because you brought them. But we were talking majority of the like the time we were together, and he was very stoic. You could see that he was almost just like observing, like, who is this person, like really getting to know me, and just very laid back, but also intrigued. Not mysterious, more just observant.
What's his sign?
His birthday's, I think he's a Taurus. His birthday's in May.
Okay.
Beginning of May.
They're also like homebodies.
Yeah. So, we went on a date, and that week we went on three different dates that week. He planned all of the dates, and he was went to an arcade, and after that we had the best tacos. We still go to this place to this day. And the second day after that we went to Las Feliz Flea. You know, I love Las Feliz Flea.
I love that flea market.
Love Las Feliz. So and we got stuff. After that we went to Melrose. We had ice cream. We went thrifting even more.
Wow.
We went out to dinner. Like, we spent a whole day together, and it was just like, and it was interesting because it was a very, you know me, I'm like, oh my God, first date, I love you. Oh, he also bought me flowers on the first date.
Wow.
2 bouquets of flowers.
Is he so he's African. How long has he been out here?
He was born here. He lives
Okay. So he's actually African American.
I don't want to say the real African American. Because African Americans are actually American. But he is an African, his
parents are immigrants.
Yeah, exactly. Just like me, I'm British Jamaican. And yeah, he bought me, and the way he did the flowers, it wasn't like, oh, I sat on my car and he bought me flowers. We were both sitting down, and the hostess brought the flowers to the table. I was like, this is different.
The Riz? That's very impressive.
I was like, this has never happened to me before. But I was looking good though, girl. I was wearing this brown dress, and I had my red bottoms on. Couldn't walk in them. But I was like, I just wanted to, in 2025, I wanted to give.
You wanted to be that girl.
Yes.
You wanted to be who you already are.
I wanted to be grown. Like,
yeah.
and that's the era I'm in. Like, I'm not going to say modest because that's not the word, but you know those girls that just be looking like covered, but they just look sexy.
Yeah.
It's just like, they just look good.
Yeah.
Just because they look good, you know, not because they're showing a leg. Not that there's anything wrong with it, because I still do that, but I just wanted to exude sex appeal, but
without
also,
being too much.
Exactly, because I felt like that was Jessica in her 20s, 25, 26, and that's the years you should be like that. But I just wanted to be a woman,
a grown, sexy woman.
Thank you. Yes. Sophisticated elegance, yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to give. So, that week we went out on 3 different dates, and we've kind of just been rolling ever since. And I was going to say.
This was in November?
This was in November, and I actually was, I wouldn't say I wasn't into him. Because I enjoyed just him, like, as a friend. And so it got to the point I was like, I'm not sure if he's going to be my friend or if this is going to be romantic. Because when we're together, it was like just being with my nigga. Like, it was just like, that's
how it should feel.
This is the homie. Like, where when we talk about everything. And it's just like cool. Like, we just genuinely enjoyed each other. But
how old is he?
He's 29.
Oh, okay.
Cougar energy.
Right. So you're 30?
I'm 32.
Yeah.
But he acts so much more mature than me.
Yeah, shit, whatever.
And I like that he is, he's very intentional. He's very soft, but also very protective. Extremely intelligent.
What does he do?
He's an engineer.
Okay.
But he's also like very much a creative. Like, he loves fashion, he loves art, he loves music.
Aww.
And so
that's what you need. Like, I feel like I've always seen you with someone who's got like their 9 to 5, they're responsible, they got this career to support, but they're also like into the arts.
Yes.
Like on their free time.
And he's not like,
because you've dated someone who was, was a very talented person in the arts, but it was like too much into it where it was
and
like,
and that person, Isaac, he wanted to be he wanted to be a musician.
Yeah.
Whereas, the person I'm dating now, he just enjoys those things as a pastime or even as a business, but he has he actually does enjoy his career as well.
Right.
And yeah, so I think so what happened? Yeah, so we were dating and and I kind of was starting to like get to kind of like him a lot.
Yeah.
And it just started getting more like the chemistry started after like the friendship.
Right.
And then Christmas came around and we kind of like died down. He went home. I had 11 people. No, I had 14 people living in my home.
Holy shit. Living in your home?
Yeah.
Or just staying?
For Christmas.
Okay.
Just
okay.
for the Christmas
like
holiday
living
time.
or just staying?
Oh yeah, they're just staying. It was a holiday.
I was like, dang. Like...
So I think we were both kind of like busy, but we kind of stopped talking. And to me, I had been, like my history, and y'all know my history. I've always had these really short-term things, and I've learned to enjoy something and expect it to like fade away.
Right.
Like nothing ever seemed permanent, and
yeah,
I was just in this cycle, and so I was very good at kind of being, I wish they could have gone somewhere, pick myself up again and move on. Like that was just my cycle, and I was used to it. And so when we didn't speak a lot in December, I was like, okay, like
this is where it fades.
This is where it fades away. This is the point. It's just not the first time.
Yeah.
But then in literally beginning of January, I get a missed call. I wake up and there's a missed call on my phone, and it's him. And I was like, what is this nigga doing? Like, why is he calling me like this? And he was like, hey, when can we go out? And I was just like, I was like, I'm busy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, unemployed. Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
No, but we met up, and it was just like, nothing ever kind of stopped. And we've been riding ever since. He's phenomenal. He's like,
wait, so when did he ask? Because you guys are official. Because they don't know that. So you guys are official.
Yeah.
When and how did he ask you?
So it was kind of a mistake, not a mistake, but it was, I don't think he was planning to ask me at that time. But you know how I am. I'm very much like, when we're going to be in a relationship, when we're going to do that,
Yeah.
But in the time just before that happened, he has been so intentional. Like, he's bought me flowers multiple times. Like, he bought me flowers again.
Yeah.
He opened my car door at any time. Like, gas station, whether it's the gas station or whether it's going to his apartment or whether we're going out. Like, and he's very just protective over me, but not in a controlling way.
Yeah.
And he understands just my qualms, like the way I'm weird. Like, I'm also weird. I'm also emotional, and my emotions be going up and down. I'm trying to figure things out. We also didn't have sex.
Yeah.
And
you haven't had sex?
No.
At all? Even right now?
Mm-mm.
Are you like trying to save it?
Yeah.
Till marriage?
That's the hope.
That's the hope. Oh, but he still like wants to be with you. I mean, have you guys done like other things?
Well, we've kissed and stuff. Like,
I know, but like other things.
Steph, you know I'm not going to say my business on this podcast. You know I'm not.
Do you see the new?
So I really could be lying. Maybe we have. Maybe we haven't. No. You know, we're gonna leave that for Rosen.
Okay.
But we've definitely experienced a good time with each other, and there's definitely sexual chemistry there.
Yeah. You at least dry humped.
What is Steph? I am not 15 years old. I don't even know if my body can physically do that anymore.
I love a dry hump. You don't like a dry hump?
That's a lot of work.
No, it's not.
And temptation.
Yeah.
But and even having that conversation with him was very eye-opening, because I found that I tend to put a lot of barriers in the way and give men a lot of outs, because I'm just like, it's almost like I'm trying to rush the process of them leaving, because I feel like it's inevitably going to happen. So I'll always be like, well, I don't want to do this until this time, so if you want to leave, just leave. Like, I'll just say small things that are, when I look back and I'm just like, that was that's just something you gotta work through, sis, because that's not, you're just trying to give them a reason
Right.
to leave.
Don't like self-sabotage
Exactly. I was self-sabotaging. To this day, I'm still working on that. No, for real. It's real
Yeah, no,
bad.
it's a thing. Yeah.
But he has been just a very soft place for me to land and makes me feel very secure. And so there was one day we were talking about sex, and I was saying, like, I just want to feel in something secure before I even approach that conversation.
Yeah.
Because I'm 32 now. Like, I can't just be running this puss around LA. Like, where, not that there's anything wrong. It's just,
Yeah.
it's a personal choice for
Yeah.
me.
You're like, I already ran this puss through. Let me just calm down.
I am not a hoe.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just like, I'm trying
We all had, we're in our 20s at one
I'm
point.
just trying to
trifling.
preserve.
It's okay. We all had a hoe phase.
She's aging.
She's aging.
Trying to preserve.
Right.
And so, and he's the kind of person that he doesn't just take surface answers. He wants to get to the root of why you are the way you are, why you think the way you think. So
yeah.
he was trying to like understand how I came to this idea of not wanting to have sex. And we talked about like other guys, and I told him about like past relationships and how I'm always in situationships, and I just want to be in something secure.
Has he been in like any long-term relationships?
Yes, he has been in long-term relationships. It's funny because we don't talk much about his ex, which is fine. But I know he has been in a long-term.
Do you want to ask him about his ex?
No.
Okay.
What do you know about her for? I am too old. I don't care.
Because I'm the opposite. I'd be wanting to know everything.
No, because I think
I'm a little.
I think it's different when I'm 32, but he's 29. So I think like at this point, does it even matter? Like who you are with someone else is not who you are going to be.
But
with
you don't ever just get like curious. Like it's not even just to be like to find out things about him, but just to like learn. Like I want to know like what you were like in a previous relationship and what you learned from it, good and bad.
Yeah, I mean,
like it's not like to hate or to feel jealous, but just I'm just fucking curious. I'm like,
I mean, I get
who made you who you are today?
I think what I'm going through right now, I'm in the phase of just doing things differently. Okay. So even with the way I approached us, like being friends first, that's never that's not a playbook in my life. No, that's not me at all. I fall in love on the second date. What are you talking about? You know? So I was just really trying to do things differently. Yeah, girl, I'd be fine.
And with Isaac though, you were friends.
Yeah, we were friends first, but that was different.
But that's different. Yeah, sorry, I keep bringing Isaac up.
I know she's upset. Why don't you?
I'm obsessed with you guys. No, I'm just obsessed with you guys.
I think we're a social experiment. That's
why. I think it is. It's like the epitome of like every like you guys are just the blueprint, not the blueprint, but just the epitome of situationships that we all have gone through. Like I see a lot of myself and the situations that I've been in, like through that. So I feel like maybe I'm just projecting. I'm like trying to solve like the puzzle of like why didn't it work?
There's no puzzle.
Can you have ever fixed a situationship?
No.
Yeah, it's very Carrie and big. And I'm telling you, Jessica Clarke is Carrie Bradshaw if she went to church.
You're more Carrie is 60 years old, still trying to chase big. I'm not trying to be that girl.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, he died.
And then you know what? They end up being together, and you know it till the day he died.
And still ain't married.
No, they did get married.
Oh, they did?
They were married, yeah.
I know really well.
I mean, he like walked out on the first wedding, but eventually they went to the court wedding.
See, I'm not. No. No. You're not doing that.
Okay, continue.
With him, he's just different. Anyway, so we were talking about that whole conversation of me just wanting to preserve and wanting to make sure I'm in something secure, because nothing ever lasts over here in this world.
Yeah.
And he told me that he was like, well, I've been wanting to be exclusive with you. Like, aww. I definitely want to. And I was just like,
a man who knows what the fuck he wants.
And I was just like, it was weird for me. One, because I'm always the one that's bringing up that conversation.
Yeah.
And I dared not bring it up because I was like, there's no way this man is sure about me because no one's ever been sure about me this quickly before.
Aw.
So it wasn't even in my mind that this man was even thinking of me in that way.
Yeah.
And he actually said he felt like he didn't know how I felt about him, and that's what made him hesitant to have the conversation because he doesn't really know where I stand.
Yeah.
And I thought that was also interesting because I'm always the one where guys are like,
You're feeling that
Yo,
way.
yeah, like it was very weird. It was weird for me.
Yeah.
But to be chosen so quickly without without me emotionally manipulating the situation to be chosen.
Right. Or giving this puss to manipulate the situation.
Or
Maybe if I
trying
do this a little bit more.
Like, let me cook for him. Maybe he
Right.
gonna fall in love. Like, let me do
me
this. Let me do that. Let me drop these conversations.
Right.
And
Let me show up and be cool.
Exactly.
Like,
Let me
nah.
just act different or
Right.
I've got this cool job. You wanna, just trying to prove
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
I just was laid off, so I didn't want to have energy to be anything other than myself.
Yeah.
So this man wanted to be with me simply for who I am. I hadn't
Aw.
shown him any. I had my bag ready to like pull out my tricks when the time was
Right.
ready, right? But it wasn't that. It was different.
Right.
And so
You're like, oh, you like me for me?
crazy
Wild.
idea. That's so wild.
That's how I
like,
felt too. And I remember Brian being like, "You're so easy to love." Like, I don't understand. I was like, "Yes, I think I'm easy to love, but these motherfuckers made me feel unloved for so long.
so
Like,
long.
Thank you for recognizing that.
Yeah, I was very confused, and I was not only confused but very skeptical.
Yeah.
To this day, I'm just like, and we had this conversation 2 days ago. Like, I feel like the rug is gonna kind of be pulled from beneath me.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to understand and accept that someone genuinely cares about me, and I don't have to do anything for that to happen.
Yeah. You don't
That
have to
is
like change or morph into
your
something.
existence alone is enough.
Yeah.
That is
It's
very
so beautiful.
unsettling.
Oh, you deserve that.
Thank you. I'm trying to understand that. People keep telling me that, and like,
And I hope
I'm
you
trying
like could
to
sit in it and just like take it. You know.
And it was funny because he is the kind of guy, he pays for everything. Like, he's, those memes where the girl is like, oh, look at that bird over there, and she's walking in the street and she's just like, look at that bird. Oh, I wonder what, just her tra-la-la land.
Right.
That's me with him. Like, I don't worry about anything at
Oh
all.
yeah. And he's like, and meanwhile he's like, okay, look, just making sure everything's like cool. Yeah,
that's him. But he does,
and that's how it should be.
He does it in the best, and even with me being late.
Oh, because you late, girl. I
I'm
always have this conversation.
I'm working on it.
2025. It's like, so every time we record, it's like, oh, what time you guys record? I'm like, I said 4.
It wasn't my fault.
So anytime after whenever.
It was oxtail.
It was oxtail.
But the great thing is that he's Nigerian, so his mom is probably,
very similar.
Yeah. So
have you any parents met yet? Or have you met his parents? Has he met yours?
No, not yet.
I'm surprised you haven't introduced him to your parents
no,
yet.
I wouldn't do that yet.
You brought homeboy, not
Who?
Isaac, other homeboy to the barbecue that one time.
Oh, he didn't count, girl. He was like, whatever.
Yeah.
No. He didn't count.
Poor guy.
I was not marrying him at all.
Yeah.
If I know you're not going to be my husband, 100%,
Yeah.
I really don't care if you meet my parents because you don't matter in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
Now, if I really see you as a potential husband, it's going to take some time because I'm going
You want to make it right.
And also, it's the way I present you to my parents. I never introduced him to my parents. He was just there.
That's true.
But if I present you to my parents, that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
And so, like, there was one time where I was doing some work and I didn't know when I was going to do work, but I also knew I wanted Italian food. So he booked 3 different reservations for 3 different times, depending upon
What a thoughtful
when.
motherfucker. He's very acts of service.
Very acts of service.
And like gifts.
Yes, yes. I think.
And that's literally you. Like, you need
All
someone to
day.
do stuff for you and buy stuff for you.
But then in that, it was funny because he was doing all these small, like, he would just randomly buy me flowers for no
Yeah.
reason at all. Like, no occasion, no reason.
Yeah.
Like, he asked me what snacks I wanted to eat, and I went over to his house. He had all my favorite snacks. Just small things like that. I'm just like, so now my mind is like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing enough. I have to do something. I have to do something. I have to cook. I have to clean.
You need to be
prove myself worthy of the love that you're giving me. And I'm still working through that. I'm just like, how do you, like, it's almost like I feel like I have to give something to accept goodness. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of women probably feel that
I
way.
I feel that way a lot too.
And it's very difficult for the things that I think sometimes when even you just being there makes him is equivalent to him
Yeah.
buying the flowers, or that moment you rub his back, or laying
Right.
his shoulder. Those are the things that make them want to do those
And being
things.
there for them and like having a safe space for them to
Exactly,
be
creating a
vulnerable.
safe space.
Yeah,
Yes, creating and like when he's out there in the world doing whatever, and he comes like back and we're chilling on the couch and we take a nap, fall asleep and take a nap.
right.
Just those peaceful moments, I feel like is our payment, but we don't see it that way. We just see it as us just like existing. But to
Yeah.
them, that's what they value.
Yeah. Well,
But I
that
did cook
makes
for
me
him.
happy though.
And actually, if we do get married, I'm going to make the meal like a marry me meal.
What do you mean?
So like there was this meal I made for him, and I think it was like the day after he asked me to we became exclusive.
Yeah.
But then I was like, if I get married, I'm gonna make like a little recipe. I'm like, this is the meal I made to get this ring. So
So you're gonna make like a menu?
yeah, like a marry me menu situation for the girlies.
You
the single
are
girlies.
so fucking romantic. Like what the fuck? Okay.
Girl, the meal's good though.
Yeah. No, I still think about your chicken masala that one time
I
that you
did
made.
make that. That's my
It was
specialty.
really good.
Yeah. So I don't know what I did to get him.
What do you mean?
What
do you mean you don't know what the fuck you did?
I know I've gone through a lot, girl. I've been through this trenches.
You deserve every moment
Thank
of
you.
this, Like
I feel very special.
you put in the work. You put in the work in yourself.
I did.
You put in the work trying to find the right person.
And I'm quick to leave. I don't care
just
how
as much as you're
I
quick
am.
to get in, you're quick to get out.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna be anything that's gonna waste my time. I'll rather be
okay,
alone.
so quick question. The last time you were on the pod,
Yeah,
you talked about rekindling something.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you were rekindling with your ex from what was it? From high school? No, high school, college, right?
No, like from when I was like 14.
Wow. Okay. So I remember even just like off air. I don't know how much you talked about on air. I can't remember like what was on air and off air.
Yeah.
But you did mention it. But however, I remember us having a conversation of you just being like, again, you're like, oh, he's the one. Like he's, But he lived in
England.
England.
Yes.
What happened?
So something happened. I'm not gonna say it on here. But there was information I found out that I wasn't privy to prior to agreeing to be in that relationship, and that was it was an absolute
like a deal breaker.
Oh, 100%. I don't have many of them. That was definitely one of them.
Yeah.
So if the glove don't fit, it have to quit. Like I had to go. Right.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm not gonna be in anything that's not
serving you.
Yeah, that's not serving me. And also, while he did love me, he also wasn't sure. Like if he wanted to, he just got out of a really tumultuous marriage. He didn't know when he would want to be married again. And so and
you used to always date people who were straight out of a relationship.
I don't know why I dated.
Did you get those?
I don't know why, and that's what I was working on before came, because I got to a point.
We can say his name.
Oh God, bleep that
Beep.
out.
Beep.
I was really at a point. I got to a point where I was saying to myself, there is something about you that's attracting these certain kind of guys. There's something about you that attracts guys that are emotionally unavailable or just emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
There's something or just want to be in situationships for the rest of their lives. People that are just not ready for something serious.
Yeah.
And so I really started like praying about it and working on it and like searching myself and the things that are in me, is a kind of perhaps attracting that energy.
Yeah.
And then that's what I started to write down things. I also started doing research on dating and dating habits. that's when the kind of I turned the corner of trying to date differently and doing things that make me uncomfortable. And that's when I got I started like starting these things.
Yeah.
He kind of came along and
Yeah.
it's magic.
Yay. Oh my God. Okay, well, I'm so fucking happy.
Yes. I've also tried. It's so funny because when I really have to work on, there's a lot of things I'm realizing I have to work on. Again, it's like the self-sabotage. But also,
I also think, sorry to interrupt.
no, go ahead.
I also think, I mean, when you're single, there is a lot of healing that does obviously happen. However, I think also being in a relationship,
100%.
there are so many other things that come up that you have to face that you're not going to face when you're in a relationship. Because when you're single. Because when you're single, you could kind of easily like, whatever, throw things and not face it, not have to deal with it. But when you're in a relationship and you're sharing a life with someone and, you know, all your actions affect this other person, oh,
100%.
fuck.
And
that's when that real fucking work begins.
And you start to be like, dang, like, I'm low-key, like, I'm traumatized. Like, these men out here have traumatized me. And it takes a special person to be patient with you in that process of, because, like I just said, like, it sometimes just feels like the rug is going to be, like, pulled under me, but the only way
more traumatized. Sorry,
no, go ahead.
I feel like you're more traumatized by like the streets than you are by your parents.
Oh yes,
because I feel like your parents are lovely.
Yeah,
they have a great relationship.
This has nothing to do with. This is literally to do with only my personal experience,
right? Like it's not. Because a lot of my traumas come from like my childhood. Yeah. Like, I mean, obviously from dating too, but a lot of it is really from my relationship with my parents and their relationship.
My trauma is these
but
niggas.
Yours is like not like that.
No.
It's from the streets.
The streets have
traumatized.
Ragged.
Maybe that's why you were like so delulu for so long, because you had such a great example of your parents.
I had like such a high expectation for men, and then I realized,
like,
wow,
great, and then you come out here like, fuck,
it's a mess. It's a mess. Yeah. So, and that's a very good observation. I never thought about it like that. I really thought, like, in my mind, I meet one guy, we fall in love, we get married, and we have kids. What's the problem? Like, that's how I originally came into dating. Yeah, to me, there wasn't any, and that was my experience, and that's what I've been kind of taught. Like, that's how life happens.
Yeah. And your parents, they like, I mean, obviously no marriage is perfect, but for the most part, they get along really well.
Yeah, they get along well. They argue, of course, but it's also like my dad like still does annoying things, like not close, like he doesn't put things away. But my mom is just like, they've been married for, they've been married for over 30 years, so it's like.
But they have like a great relationship. It seems.
They do. They have a very good relationship.
So that's probably why, like, now it's all clicking to me. Like, that's why you came into this dating world, like, so ready for love and like the little bit of just like naiveness.
Oh, 100%.
You know, and then you're just like,
these niggas said, watch this.
Look, let me put my trauma, my parents. Watch this.
Watch this.
Watch this. Literally.
No, 100%. And then, so now I'm trying to like undo all of this, like all
everyone else's trauma that they projected on you.
Even literally like last week, Valentine's Day is coming up. Now that when we're recording now, is Valentine's Day is coming up, and so something toxic I was doing. On my way to see him, I was in the car. Like, he hadn't said anything about this. Bear in mind, this is the beginning of February. So he has time to talk about Valentine's. But I was like, he hasn't said anything. Okay, I have to try and do something to provoke the idea that Valentine's Day is coming up or suggest something. So I came up, I was driving this house, I came up with a whole plan in my mind of how I was going to try and manipulate him to think about Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And I got to his place, and as soon as I sat down next to him, we were like chilling, and he was like, oh, so I don't know if it's like already a soon, but yeah, Valentine's Day, we're doing something. I'm planning something. So, and in my mind, I was like, who is this man?
You're like, I didn't have to manipulate this situation. This situation happened organically.
Imagine a man taking initiative. And so,
wow.
And it's like,
yeah, but for real though,
when you meet a person that speaks to who you are, and just the person, like, I feel like a good match for you. A lot of the things you think that you have to do, they're all going to do it before you even have the chance to.
Yeah.
And so, and those are the things that kind of promote that healing. Him constantly showing up for me, constantly wanting to see me. He just had a really big exam the other day. As soon as he stepped out of the exam, he texted me. He was like, I want to see you. And we
Wow.
hadn't seen each other for like a week.
Are his parents still together?
Yeah, his parents are still
Wow.
together. And he hadn't seen me for like, we hadn't seen
That's
each other
what you
for
needed. You needed someone kind of
just to make me feel safe and secure
Yeah.
and know where I stand in our relationship and
the
things.
simple shit.
Like, with him, I don't have to guess. And
Yeah.
I'm realizing that when I wanted a guy to commit to me, it wasn't just so I could be a girlfriend. It's just so that I could feel safe in my position. And with him, it was like the old Jessica, not even the old Jessica, the Jessica with someone else. If I didn't see you for a week, I would crash out. I'd be like, why does he want to see me? Like, is it something I
Yeah.
did? What can I do? How can I find a way to go and see him? Just
Yeah.
finding, like, bringing up all these ideas. But
spiraling.
I was just so calm. I didn't spiral once. But one thing he did do every day is call me or text me or let me communicate with me in some way that, hi,
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm thinking of you. And that meant the world to me, because he didn't have to do that. He was
Right.
studying for a really big
Like
exam.
he did it because he wanted to.
Exactly. And so when him continuing to do small gestures like that, which he probably doesn't even realize how much impact is making on me, but those small things are making me feel safe enough. Him,
Aw.
bringing up Valentine's Day even before I could. Him asking me to be exclusive before it wasn't even an idea to me.
Yeah.
That made me feel that, wow, like, I'm safe here. Like, this is a steady ground. This is a
Yeah.
ground I can kind of stand on. And the more it happens, the more I would trust him to be that for me and build that foundation. And again, if this doesn't work out, and I've tried to stop saying that too, because I've always, again, I'll be like, yeah, I started dating this guy, but and we never know what happens. I'm going
Yeah.
to, I'm trying to, but I'm saying this part for a reason. If this doesn't work out, regardless, I have a new standard for myself.
Oh, hell yeah.
To know that there is the love that everyone is saying to me is not realistic. I'm now understanding and realizing that it actually is with the right person.
Yep.
And I'm
the
not
right person
crazy.
will want to do it.
Yeah, the
like,
right person.
That's why I
it.
always stand by that saying. Like, if he wanted to, he would.
And if he's good,
people would always try to be like, I don't know, like, because there's circuit. I'm like, no. If he motherfucking wanted to text you, wanted to show up, wanted to be there, they fucking will.
Because if you're studying for a really big exam and you don't text me, while I'll be crashing out in my mind, rationally, you go to work for 8 hours. You're coming home and you're studying until 4 a.m. If you don't text me because you're doing all of that, I would also understand that,
right?
Because
exactly.
you've got a lot going on, But
for you, the fact that he still
do that, and he'll be like, "You're the only person I've spoken to today."
Yeah.
And for me to be the one person that he chooses to speak to,
that's special.
Very special. As a Cancer.
I love that.
Yeah, so that's my homie.
Yeah.
It's cool people for real.
So because it's been feeling really safe and he's doing all the right things, do you ever find yourself feeling like slightly bored? Or like slightly like no? Okay.
I think with him, I'm always, my nervous system is very at peace.
Okay.
I'm not obsessing.
Yeah, it's like your nerve. Yeah, exactly. Like your nervous system is so at peace that you're like, because for me, I guess, for coming from an example, like, not that I was bored. I've never been bored with Brian. Don't get me wrong, but like I feel like if I would have met Brian more so in my toxic days, I would have been bored.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like because when they're doing all the right things and you're so used to like the dopamine of just like, you crashing out and falling apart because they're not texting you back, and then you finally get the validation and they're all there for you, like the highs and the lows,
Right.
Like sometimes we're so fucking used to that. So when things are calm, I think in the past I've like sabotaged certain situations to feel like, okay, this is like boring,
You know, I'm tired, girl. I'm tired.
You're like, I don't want to feel that way anymore.
Me to death. I think my dopamine comes into the things of random flower, like buying me 3 bouquets of flowers for no reason.
Yeah,
and, you know,
like the love that he's giving, the actual healthy,
the healthiness of this.
Yeah, that's how you know you're ready. Then
like it's so healthy, and I don't see him every day, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm not like, and I'm not trying to find, because all those things that you mentioned is what they call like your nervous system being unsettled.
Yeah,
and my nervous system is like, bitch, I'm tired.
Yeah, I think that's how I felt with Brian too. It was almost like I just felt so exhausted of just, because obviously coming from the fucking highs and lows of Morgan, by the time I got to Brian, I was just like, God damn,
I'm exhausted. I'd rather be alone. I'd rather be alone.
Yeah, and if you're here, please don't make me fucking
please.
Like,
I'm begging.
It's like you almost have to be so like broken down, like as fucked up as that sounds, but it's almost like you 100%. Really gotta be broken down to just be like,
down to the core, where I was even thinking like, you know, what would life look like if I don't get married? Like, what would children look like?
You were like kind of accepting.
I was at that
like,
point.
What if the things...
100%. I was at that point where I was just like, maybe it's just not, because then it was funny because I read the Bible, and there's a part of the Bible that says not everyone is supposed to be married. And I was like, well, that's probably me. I was like, you know, getting used to that, like
just like accepting that, like that could be my fate, and like, are we okay with that?
Like maybe there's just not.
Maybe that's what it was. It's like you took this pressure off of like, oh, I have to like have these things, and so to finally accept like, honestly, if I don't, fuck it.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like, and the fact that I was more at peace by myself than overanalyzing where I stand with other men, and I was unemployed, and I knew I was at peace with myself when I was unemployed and still happy. I was just like,
yeah,
okay,
there
like, you know, and so I couldn't. I'm as I said, I'm 32. I don't have the energy to, and I'm not saying 32 because I'm old, but because I've been having those ups and downs and situationships and toxic things for 10 years. At what point do you say, like, it's enough?
No more. Yeah.
10 years of that, 10 years of being traumatized, broken down, heartbroken.
Oh, yeah.
Different men, different personalities, being treated bad, ghosted, trying to chase men, going to the club, going on Hinge, being disappointed, have no expectations not being met, you not being enough. Like, you can only not be enough for a man so many times before you're like, I'm done.
Exactly.
I was like,
that's how you know. That's how you know you're ready.
I'll be enough for Jesus.
Right.
I don't like. It's fine. It's fine. I was tired, Steph.
I relate to that so hard because that's exactly how I felt before Brian. I was just so beaten down and done.
I was done.
You know, because I mean, like in actuality, like I'm glad though, because I was like about 10 years where I was basically like single.
Yeah.
Like obviously I had these like situationships, but it wasn't a real relationship. But yeah, like just all of my 20s just being like so fucking stupid. I'm glad I did that shit though.
Oh, 1,000%.
1,000%.
Still doing that to this day.
I don't want to be stupid later. Let me be stupid now.
At all. That's why I'm like, when you're in your 20s, live your life.
Live your mother.
And I truly believe that everyone is supposed to go through their things in relationship, and even if you don't do it in your 20s, it's gonna come up at some point.
It's gonna come at some point. So when you're in it, just fucking be in it.
And you do not want to come into it when you're 2 years into a marriage because your marriage is going downhill, and this is the time that you want to explore different options.
Be stupid as fuck when you can.
Make all the mistakes.
Because you need to be beaten down. Life needs to beat you down a little bit.
Please.
Sorry, not like actually don't get into like a physical domestic violence.
Not physical.
Nothing like that. Nothing like abusive. But I'm just saying like you need life and the experience to just like, you know,
and then
to drain you.
And then you enjoy.
And then now
this person that comes along that brings. And I also don't get bored because he's not a boring person. This man,
I guess I'm bored of just like because the feelings and the emotions,
the nervous system,
not the
being
person,
like,
but the nervous system.
Yeah,
you know,
nah, girl.
Because for sure, like as much as when I was in it in my 20s, being like, I hate this. I low-key liked it.
Oh, for sure.
Because that's why am I putting myself in these positions?
Shake the table a little bit.
Right. And I like the little fucking drama.
By now, in those days, I would have called him on some, well, why didn't you do this? That's weird. Making just
Yeah.
arguments out of nothing at all. Like, I
For
would have
real.
just trying to
Call him drunk, being
evoke,
stupid.
yeah,
Go make
evoke
out with
some.
someone else and be like, you
I
know,
used to do that. It was so bad.
so bad.
So bad. And I used to be like, guess what I did? And I used to
This
mask
other
it.
guy likes me too.
And I used to mask it by being like, I'm just being honest. Or
You're a little trifling.
and this is so funny because I really used to do that. Like, oh yeah, I went out and this guy started talking to me and it was crazy. He was like really into me, but I was like,
I used to do that too.
I was basically like no, but also like yeah.
yeah. Or like,
You're so lucky.
put a guy in your story or like a photo real quick, like hella sus, like who's this guy?
Can you
know?
imagine?
Like little like slow.
Oh, another big thing
What?
is we don't follow each other on social media. I don't even know what his social media is.
Why?
We just haven't, and I
Okay.
kind of like it because
that gets me a little nervous for me.
But here's why I like it.
I think I just have a
I
sense
think
of trauma with
when
that, but that's
a
me.
lot of girls follow a guy on social media, when they're not with him or there's something tumultuous happening in their relationship, they then start to obsess over his whereabouts.
That's true.
Obsess over his social media.
Yeah.
You're creating other accounts so that you can go and look in his stories. Who's in your likes? Who's in your this?
That's
who's
true.
in your
I actually like when I first started dating Brett, I honestly didn't do the crazy like lurking through everything.
Now I
his
did.
tag
Don't get me
photos.
wrong. My name is Bennett. I ain't stupid. I do some research. I didn't make sure the man is who he says he was. But
Right,
I'm not. I don't know what.
But I'm not stalking his likes or.
I
know.
didn't. And the thing is, I think when you don't involve social media, it makes life real, because social media can be it can make you very obsessive and jaded, and I just think when I'm able to appreciate what this person is telling me, not looking, because if I had his socials, I'd be looking at his tagged photos. I'd be looking at, and then there's a girl in there. Okay,
But
who
I
is
feel
this
like
girl?
But when you're in a very secure relationship, because I be that bitch too. I stay up like looking at their tag photos, whatever, But finally, when I went with Brian, it was like I didn't care to like check for that.
Yeah.
Actually didn't want to, because I was just like.
But that's when
Who
you were with
cares?
him. But even before,
Even like when we were talking and stuff.
because
Like,
even
I just didn't
when we
care.
didn't talk in December, I didn't
Yeah.
even have I wanted to. Like, where's this man at?
But that's also, I guess you met him on Hinge, so it's a little different, because you're like, this could literally be a fucking, who even knows,
Yeah,
But
but
Brian already knew him for a while on
Right.
social media, so it was just
Yeah.
kind of like, I didn't really feel like I needed
we just
to.
never. Well, I never asked. He never asked.
Yeah.
We just never been a thing. Because I get the person. I get him in real life.
Yeah, comment below, y'all.
one thing
if
I
that-
do
that's,
love
if
too-
that's something that would like trigger you or not.
One thing that was good, no, not good, but something that I found interesting. We were both looking at his phone together, and he let me hold his phone and like look through, like we're looking at like tweets or something.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Damn, you held the phone.
I held the phone. He gave the phone to me.
But as crazy as that
He
sounds,
even walked away. He even walked away and came back. And he wasn't like, when they let you hold the phone, but they're hovering over.
Right. Like they're a little
No.
stiff next to you, being like
Yeah.
they have you hold the phone, but their hand is still right there, just to make sure, just in case it's like a quick.
And another thing is, he doesn't have that invisible thing on his, the phone when you
when you can't see it from the
I
side.
love that more because it's not in public. You don't want people in your business,
Right.
but when a man, and so it's not really bad for men to have this, but
it's just more of a thing of like, oh, he's not really hiding.
yeah,
anything.
you're not hiding anything, and when you're not hovering over your phone to,
You know the
like,
passcode.
No, I'm not gonna ask him his passcode. And honestly, if I ask him, he'll probably give it to me, because I genuinely feel like this man does not be doing that. He goes to work, he comes home, like.
Yeah.
I think, and I trust. I think
You trust him.
he's the kind of person that if he was doing something else, he would tell me. And he also just like, it's not like he called me don't put this in. I just don't put this in the
What?
van.
What do you mean?
He called me a big booty baddie, and I was like, period.
Wait, why can't I put that in?
If I'm a big booty baddie,
You a big booty baddie.
if I'm a big booty baddie, then
Can I
like,
keep that in?
okay, you can keep it in.
Okay.
If I'm a big booty baddie, like her, you want to be
Right.
here. You want to be here.
Yeah.
You want to be here. Welcome.
Welcome to big booty baddie. He's committed now that he's called you
He's
that.
committed. He's in
Yeah.
it.
Aw.
And it's what it. So yeah, that's my love story. Well, it's not really. And another thing is like,
Have any of your exes like hit you up?
Yeah, but
Because usually
they've
that'd be
not-
happening once you like get.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Someone literally, this guy I haven't spoken to like months, hit me up. Is like, "Are you married yet?" I'm sorry, man. You're not getting a response from me. So, do you know what's so funny? You know when we were at the shoot
Yeah.
and
Oh.
I said it?
Yes. Okay, I was gonna bring that up, but I don't want to be.
All I saw was your head do this.
Not me.
I was like, she's a messy bitch. She's a mess.
so messy. I went, Isaac. What do you think about
Nina,
this?
did you see that?
Everyone, yeah.
I saw 3 people turn there.
Yeah.
I was
No,
like, what y'all looking at this
Brian
nigga
even
for?
brought it up later. He's like, yo, I was dying because it got so weird in the room when Jess said, no one knows this, but I'm in a relationship, and everyone just looked at Isaac. Was it him?
It's not. Yeah, I thought, I was like, surprise.
I know. I was like, does Isaac know about this?
No, he did not. That was everyone's first time hearing it.
And it was great.
I know. It was great TV.
It was great TV. It was a great like way to like let everyone know,
Yeah.
especially Isaac.
And it wasn't even for him. It was just
I
like,
even in the
exclusive.
episode, I'll cut this out because I don't want to like spoilers. Not that it's even a spoiler alert, but like in the episode with Tyler, I kind of go off saying like your friend fucking like could have bagged Jess, but he fucked up. I kind of went on a little tangent. Anyways.
He probably defended Isaac hella, huh?
No, he was just like, okay. Like, he was just like smiled and was just like, he was just like, oh, okay. Like he didn't like knock it, but he also just like, all right. Like, he was like letting me just have my moment.
Yeah, it was like Steph is.
Yeah. I was like, he could have had Jessica Clarke, but he fucked up. Like, he
It's okay.
fumbled the
Once
bag.
Once you meet
I'm just like such a like, I just think you're like such a catch that I'm
thank
just like,
you.
this motherfucker, bald headed mother. Sorry. I'm taking a beep. I love Isaac so much, and there's nothing wrong with being bald because my dad is bald. But it's just,
My dad is bald.
My dad is bald. It's crazy. There's nothing wrong with being bald.
There's nothing wrong with being
My
bald.
dad is bald. That's fair. Fair play.
But you know, he fumbled it. He lost his chance.
And honestly, do you know what the reality is?
And I'm
I
just
fumbled
such-
myself. That's what I really did.
That's who you
I
kind of you
fumbled
also played a
myself.
part.
I
in,
fumbled. It's not only him. Like I.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like I'm just team
We
you
both used each other for fumbling. So
for fumbling. Yeah,
um,
that was a very fumbling.
it's a very fumbleable situation.
Would you guys ever come back on the pod together? Would you ever do a pod with him again?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm not talking about this. I'm not disrespecting my partner, but
No. Okay. I probably want to do that too so soon. Maybe like later on when you're like.
and
more.
it's just also like, okay, like I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what was that reason? There's
What
no
was the reason?
there was no reason.
I know. I think I just like the drama a little bit.
Yeah.
I have no drama in my life. Like literally, there's just thankfully there's no drama in my life.
and
I don't
I'm
want
trying to be
jinx it.
like you. I'm
But
trying to live a
sometimes I'm just like, that's
drama-free
why I'm
life.
just like when there's like a little bit of chisme, like Astravino on TikTok is like where I'm at because I just need chisme and drama in my life because thankfully I'm just chilling. I don't want drama in my life.
Everything in that it was just
But-
it's exhausting. It was that
But
emotional
it's nice.
roller coaster.
He was exhausting, yeah.
is exhausting.
So,
and
but
again,
anyways,
being in a safe and healthy
yeah, I'm so happy for you.
hashtag healthy. And this just even the story itself just sounds different from like how I used to like run around these streets with these men.
Yeah, because there'd always be like, however,
Yeah, there was always a but. However,
he's still married.
Yeah.
So we're like, he just got out of a relationship, or he,
But this
like,
man
but-
is ready to. He's like family planning, like preparing.
Yeah.
To, like he wants to. We're having those serious conversations. Like, what does life look like for you?
right.
So he's very intentional, and he's not wasting my time because
I love that because
a lot of men have.
a lot of men have wasted your time.
A lot of time has been wasted.
Like that one, like there's just so many.
There's
like
so many stories.
so-
There's,
I always think like, remember that one guy I wanted to date with? He said was like artsy, or Rolex guy. I never fucked a Rolex. I knew Rolex
no
guy.
one no
See,
one
when someone
did.
even commented and was just like, I never liked Rolex guy.
I know. I just,
Like someone was also like, I did not fuck Rolex.
no one like Rolex, and
I just, as soon as he was like went to go buy a Rolex on the first date, I was like, I don't like him.
And it's just so funny. Hindsight is always 2020 because it's just like, wow. Especially when you see someone do something better than what that, like the opposite thing of what that person did.
Yeah.
It's just like,
You're like, why did I deal with that?
yeah, no. I'm in my princess era, and let me say, I'm in my queen era. And I'm
There we go. Your soft life that you've always
soft
wanted.
life. That's exactly what it. This is when I say
This is soft.
I wake up and I relax. I'm relaxed.
Wow. And you have a man who loves you.
What else do
He's not making you like
jump through hoops on fire to claim his love for me,
to validate you? Like he just validates you.
Wow. Imagine a man validating me without me asking or provoking it.
Yeah, like he just does it.
Wild.
Because he wants to.
Wild. Because he wants to.
Not because he has to. Or
not
because he's
he's
manipulated.
Not because he's trying to prove a point. Just because in his heart he wants
and it's easy for him to do. It's effortless.
Girl.
Soft.
For a man to just want to make you happy.
What?
It's wild. And it sounds, when people probably listen to this like, what are these girls like? What have y'all gone through? Yes.
What have you gone through?
Yes. The answer to that
but that's
is
the thing
yes.
though, we've all gone through like, situationships and shit.
As Lauryn Hill said, it should all be so simple.
It
should all be so simple, but
it's never that simple. Because you know what? It's really hard. Like in hindsight, it's really hard, especially in the pool of how many fucking people are here in LA or just in general, people in the world with different sets of traumas, yada, yada. It really is hard to find someone to truly, genuinely connect with.
100%.
And so when you do find that person, you just don't fuck it up.
You have to find, it's not good enough to just be a good person when you're dating.
No.
It's just not good enough because you have to find a person that understands you, like it's almost like hard to explain, but like they're able to just speak to the way you are emotionally, it's not, they're able to speak to that, they're able to do things that like it's almost like the love languages thing, like word of affirmation, quality time, but when it comes to them naturally, it's just like, wow, like it becomes less effort for you because you don't have to. I think there are some relationships where you have to kind of show people how to love you.
Yeah.
And certain aspects of that. But it's very comforting when someone doesn't have to be shown how to love you. It naturally comes to them.
Yeah.
That to me is like something
and it matches your energy.
Yeah, it's just so profound to me. Like there's someone there that I don't have to teach. They just understand how I like to be loved without even knowing me for that long.
Whoa.
Like that is
wow.
it's anyway.
Yeah, no.
That's crazy.
Congratulations. You've now graduated into
adulthood. I feel like this feels like an adult relationship.
Yeah, like you're like, oh damn, all of this other shit was so childish.
And now this feels like something mature. And even if it ends, it will end in a mature wait for a mature reason, and not just because he decided to ghost me, like, or because I said something wrong. It's almost like if I say something wrong, he'll be able to tell me, hey, I didn't like the way you said this. Can we talk about it? It just seems like
it's just grown up.
Thank you.
You know what? I think this is what the new season of BGT is. It's just like some grown shit,
Yes.
Like we're still gonna be stupid because that's just life. But we're gonna be just figuring shit out. But like we're grown, we're elevated. We got curtains.
Like what I just said to you when I commented on your Instagram, the new pics.
Yeah.
I need to talk about that too, bitch. You ate.
Thank you.
It just seems like. It seemed like you, but elevated.
Like, are you talking about like the new cover photo?
Yes.
Yeah, like my purpose,
especially looking like swiping through.
Yeah, just comparing it.
Yeah, it's just like you're just in a different. This just seems confident. It seems I know what I'm doing. I've got my lane. I'm walking in my lane. I'm confident in my lane. And yes, there's room for growth because look at all this mess around me. But this is my controlled mess.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's mine.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for like receiving that and getting that like message. Because I definitely, for like this cover photo, was trying to be more intentional. I think in the past it was just like, okay, the crying eyes, the pink, which will always be a part of the brand.
Yeah.
because that's just like the image. That's what's, but like this just felt, if anything, I just wanted to be like a better storyteller.
Yeah.
Like I want to be better at my craft.
Yeah.
And it's not about like trying to be more successful. It's just trying to just be better at what I'm doing,
Yeah.
whether it's being a better host, like having better production to, like trying new things, like I just want to be able to do that. And also I think being not more vulnerable, but still, because we've always been vulnerable,
Yeah.
but just like creating something to showcase that, we are vulnerable. It's layered on the show. We're
Yeah.
very vulnerable, so you come into our mess, you see, all of our flaws and everything. And I think I really want to showcase that more, because for so long the show has been marketed as just like a very sex show.
Yeah.
And sex will always be a part of it. Like
course.
sex is a part of the journey.
Yeah.
Sex is always a part of the conversation. But it's not what the show is about. Like
Right.
anyone who really truly listens to the show versus the clips on social media
Yeah.
knows that it's not just about anal or
Yeah.
like a dildo. I love my dildo videos though. But like, you know what I mean? It's not just about that. It's like real people with real stories and like we are messy.
Yeah.
We are like just trying to get it together. And so I really wanted to represent that. So thank you for noticing. I was
You
trying to
did
be more
that.
intentional,
You did that.
so.
You ate.
Well,
Over
where
the
can
top.
people like stalk you, follow you?
Oh, plug myself?
Yeah, plug yourself. I don't know why I was not trying to say plug.
Well,
But why was I trying to be so different? Like, oh my God, new year, new me.
I know my
Like,
prompts, Steph, so
right.
I was like, I'm waiting for a reflection. Okay. You can follow me on Instagram, j.clarke_. And yeah.
And then follow me, Stefanie Maegan, or go to procotherapy.com. All that shit is there. And you guys, send more of your stories. It's been a long time.
I was literally thinking about that. I was like,
Yeah.
I want to do some listener letters.
Like, we haven't done some listener letters in a minute.
I love giving y'all bad
So
advice.
send your problems. You said what?
I love giving y'all bad advice.
Right. But, just experienced advice. But yeah, we want to kiki and chisme. So send us your stories about your love life or just anything. It could be literally about anything, like jobs, life, your period. I don't know. Anything. Okay, bye. Love you. Growth therapy.